Clarity changes everything. If you've been saying, I don't have time, but you can't clearly explain where your time actually went, this isn't a time problem, it's a clarity problem. Hi, I'm Coach B, tapping in. If you've been feeling like your days are full but not productive, busy but not moving forward, put a one in the comments if that is you. You're not alone. A lot of people think they have a time problem, but what's really happening? They don't have what's really happening. They don't have clarity on how their time is being spent. Time doesn't just disappear, but it does get fragmented. A little here, a little there, scrolling, reacting, responding. And at the end of the day, it feels like you were busy all day, but nothing actually moved. Nothing actually got accomplished. Put a one in the comments if you can relate or identify. Been busy all day, but nothing actually moved. Nothing actually got accomplished. The real issue isn't time, it's unclaimed time. Time that isn't intentionally directed, gets automatically consumed by other people's priorities, your own distractions, or your default pattern, doing what you've always done. When there's no clarity, you don't choose how your time is spent. This is worth repeating. If you don't choose how to spend your time, then your time is actually going to run you. You know, I love this saying by Jim Rohn: either you run your day or your day will run you. You react to how your time is spent. And that's where the frustration comes in. That's where the frustration comes from. You look around and you realize your time is gone. You can't get the time back. You didn't accomplish what you set out to accomplish. You didn't move the needle forward just a little bit. Clarity change Clarity changes how you use time, not because you suddenly have more time, but because you're now deciding what actually matters, what gets your attention, and what moves your life forward. So when we sit back and we think about how do I want to use my time and then become intentional about it and then act on those intentions, what you will discover is that you actually have more time to do the things that you want to do. For instance, if I intentionally know that I want to read today and I put it on my calendar like it's an appointment, and I say, from 9 o'clock today to 9:15, I want to read a chapter, maybe two chapters. From 9 to 9:15 on my calendar, I have 15 minutes worth of reading. Get an alarm, ding, time's up, and then I can slowly move from that into the next thing that I want to do. Here's a coaching tip. Before you try to fix your schedule, pause and ask, where did my time actually go today? You might want to do this at the end of the day. You might want to do it in the afternoon. You might want to do it the next morning. Where did my time go? Not what I intended, but what actually happened. So, what's the distinction here? I watched YouTube for 5 hours today. This is an example. And what I really wanted to do, what I really intended or actually wanted to do, was I wanted to read, I wanted to go to the gym, I wanted to exercise for about an hour at the gym, put in my transportation time, time to change my clothes, and I wanted to get a good meal. That's my intention. But if I spent 5 hours on YouTube and I didn't read and I didn't get dressed and I didn't go to the gym and I didn't exercise and I didn't come back to my destination, well, that's what I intended to do. That's not what I actually did. So there's two parts to intentionality. You want to intend, you want to plan what you want to do, and then you actually want to implement your plan. There's another saying, plan your work and work your plan. You can have good intentions, and we know the old saying that good intentions pave the way to, and I'm not going to say the last word, but good intentions, intentionality, is not the same as implementation. So you can intend, but do you implement? So the question becomes, where did my time actually go today? Not what I intended to do, but what actually happened. That awareness alone will start to shift how you move. Because once you become aware of something, now you can actually choose what you do next. Do I want to keep this pattern, this defaulted pattern, saying I'm going to do one thing and doing something else? Or do I actually want to change the pattern and say I'm going to do something and do it? Change is a process, a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. We're not looking for perfection here, but we are looking for awareness in ways that we can implement change. You don't need more time. You need clarity around the time you already have. We all have the same 24 hours. And what we do with it is ultimately up to us. Because clarity changes how you show up and how you use what's already in front of you. Again, we all have the same 24 hours. How we choose to use it is up to us. And sometimes we're on autopilot and we need to take a step back and say, you know what? How am I actually spending my time? Not what I intended to do today, but what did I really do today? Here's the question for you. If this message spoke to you, stay connected. Remember, clarity changes everything. Like, subscribe, and share this with a leader who's ready to own what's next. I'm Coach B, the CEO. Clarity counterbalance, and freedom. That's how you own what's next. I'll see you next week.